guys, Wolf here with the second episode of... I already forgot what this is called. Lake of Voices. Wow, I suck. With the second episode of Lake of Voices, this one's probably gonna be pretty short because I gotta go eat soon, and then might upload this the same night, but I think I said in the last one that I have things I gotta do. I'm going on a trip to another state, and I can't stay up there. I gotta go do things. Okay, so stepped into, disappeared into the fog. That's where we left off.
Farewell.
We reached Hammer safely, though it took much longer than we would have liked. Much of the village had been damaged or even destroyed. It was my fault for taking so long. Oh, shoot. I didn't want to kill her. I did all I could to aid them in defending their own town and repairing what could be salvaged. Mel was disheartened by how little assistance we were able to provide. However, he could not deny how fortunate we were to have both made it at all, especially after we caught wind of the report given by the guide to the elders for that night. What? Every village close enough to Sinlos gets informed of what occurs in that lake. He does so because communities wish to be made aware if they have lost one of their own. Did she die anyways? Oh my gosh. This time, his news was the death of a young woman. The one we spoke to, Margaret, is gone. I have not heard or seen the guide myself since then. I must assume he is still there on that foggy shore waiting for desperate souls to seek out his light so they may cross the Lake of True Darkness. Although I regret I was not able to do more to protect these people, no one admonishes me for it. They seem sure that I did everything possible. I hope that is true, even if I cannot bring myself to believe it. Soon Vamel and I will return home, and we will once again take the long way around. My one piece in all of this is that Sinlos will be far behind me in a matter of days, and I intend to keep it there. Wait, is that the whole thing? It can't be the whole thing. Oh my gosh, why did I even make a second episode? Okay, now I have to go back and see what happens if I choose... I'm just gonna skip through all this. I'm sure you're forgiven.
I know you.
I have to go
You're
back
a good
and see what
woman,
happens if
Kiko.
I
I
go
know
over.
about Garvin, truthfully.
Keep going. Skip. I
I believe you.
Okay, I gotta see what happens now, because there's no way it's that short. How is this a horror game? Mel's reply is firm. My steadfastness seems almost weak in comparison to its certainty. He addresses the
We
guide.
shouldn't waste more time. Let's shove off.
The guide slowly turns around without even a nod to show his agreement. Margaret stares at Bamel and me. Bamel and me? Something of a resolve in her gaze. Then she follows after the guide. At least she didn't insist we stay behind.
We should do what we can to protect her. It's our fault she's being put in even...
Exactly
No, it's
my
not.
thoughts.
She was gonna die anyways.
We will take care of everything. Maybe I'm being naive, but I have no intentions of letting anyone fall victim to this lake tonight.
Yeah, you're being nice.
Those monsters can starve.
I smile at him for a change, and Bamel eagerly smiles
We're
back.
lucky to have each other in this, I think.
Aw. And I step onto the dock and join them. Okay, so you basically have to choose to go, otherwise the game just ends. Alright, okay. I'm gonna save. Save over here. As soon as I step onto the wood, temperature drops. The lake of my The light of my lamp shines against the water surface as reflective as a mirror. Until we reach land again, death is only one small mistake away. As we fall into line, the guide leading the way, Margaret stays close to him and I behind her, watching to make sure she doesn't slip on the slick wet wood. Bemel brings up the rear. Or Bimele. Sorry, not Bemel. Bimele. Each of us hold our lanterns in front of us, but it does little good. The fog is thick and the night is impenetrable, consuming the light as if it's hungry for it. Above the surface of the lake is deathly quiet. No longer is there whispering wind, nor the sound of water lapping against the shore. It's just our own mismatched footsteps and the sound of my quickened breathing. My eyes drift back to the lake against my better judgment. It's no wonder there's not even a sound of water. With how still the surface is, it seems almost sturdy, with the sheen of a black marble floor. I've heard rumors that the water of Sinlos is heavier, more difficult to disturb than natural water. It's just the weight of its oppressive cling is just the weight of its oppressive cling is enough to keep someone down, even without them. Something even darker than the abyss of the lake flickers just below the surface, or at least I think it does. I turn my gaze to Margaret's back. It's better to stay focused.
Fall back a bit. You're following me too closely.
The guide is looking over his shoulder, addressing Margaret.
Sorry.
If someone gets pulled into the lake, they'll instinctively reach for anything to hold on to. Do not let that be you.
Margaret's shoulders rise. She nods with great seriousness.
I understand. Thank you for the advice.
You can speak amongst yourselves if you so choose, as long as you pay attention to where you're going. There is no worth in listening to the sounds out there. If there's anything at all, it'll only be Nixie trying to set you on edge.
All right. Then, could you tell us your name? You didn't have a chance to properly introduce yourself, and I've only heard you being referred to as the guide.
I don't have a name.
He's facing the front again, his voice is expressionless as before. I have no way of guessing how he feels as he says this.
Oh.
It's probably not something he wishes to talk about. However, there was something else I wanted to say, so changing the subject is not difficult.
Margaret, thank you for allowing us.
Oh shoot, I cut her off. Oops. Margaret shrugs non-committally.
It wasn't exactly up to me. The guide said he would take you. But thank you for saying that. It's appreciated.
Oh, did I read that? Oops.
Bemele and I will do our best to be an asset on this trip, rather than a burden.
That's nice. I'm not afraid to be out here, though. Still, at least with your training, you should be able to take care of yourselves.
It's comforting to know that everyone here is so confident in their abilities. Not enough to forget how horrible it feels to be over this lake. I'm not sure if it is fortunate or unfortunate. Believing yourself to be secure doesn't mean that you are. As the conversation lulls, a new sound breaks through. It's whispering noise again. The chatter of inhuman voices, and this time coming from all around
Taking
us.
care of yourself is exactly what you need to do.
The guide is speaking again, except louder, as if to cover the Nixie's voices with his
Work
own.
to survive at all costs, and hope that everyone around you has enough sense to do the same. That's the only way you'll make it to the other side.
Margaret nods in response, but I hear a grunt from behind
Groups
me.
tend to go further when they work together to achieve the same goal.
The guide doesn't say anything in response to Bemele's grumbling either. I'm not sure whether he didn't hear Bemele or whether he just didn't feel the statements made thus far are worthy of addressing. I have a feeling it's the latter. We go around a large bend in the bridge, part of it forking off to another way. I wonder how the guide knows which one of these essentially identical paths is correct. When something in the corner of my eye
I believe I
catches
saw
my
something
attention.
over there.
Keep walking. No.
The guide's voice is calm and level. I decide against pressing the issue, not wanting to set everyone even more.
What did he say?
Perhaps not wanting the conversation to be caught by the guide, he speaks softly, though couldn't quite hear him because of it. Taking my eyes off Margaret ahead for a moment to explain it to Bimile and stop dead in my tracks. Only one word is able to escape me in a stunned
Behind.
state. Several meters away, a crooked, twisted black figure hobbles its way towards us. Some kind of liquid drops off its head, curling around the edges of its face. It almost looks like it's crying. Is that a rake? Holy. Bimile backs up until he's standing beside me. The figure continues to slow advance, head jerking from one angle to another.
It's one of them.
Yes, Nixie that stumble across the bridges looking for opportunities.
The guide is standing next to us. I didn't even notice him approach.
The ones that can make it out of the water are generally referred to as prowlers.
I had no idea things like that were out here. Is that what Kika saw down the other path?
The guide says nothing, instead returning to the front of the party. Margaret watches him pass. Her frustration morphs into nervous optimism when something seems to come into her mind.
Well, Nixie aren't slowed down much by swords, but at least the light keeps them away, right?
Margaret's hand grips her face tight, and desperation bleeds into her voice. I bite the inside of my lip. I mean, she's been gripping her face pretty much the whole time, so that's all I'm saying.
Direct light will force it to return to the lake. However, it'll try to drag the light, or you, down with it before it goes.
That doesn't sound pleasant. Instinctively, I reach for the hilt of my sword, despite the fact that it would do little to protect me. The prowler's getting closer, jerking forward, stopping, then resuming its slow advance.
Okay, does anyone have a light we can leave here? That way it won't follow us.
Yeah, yours.
Only matches.
Bimile spits. He's the one bringing up the rear, so he's the one most likely to be in danger if it keeps following. The guide, however, moves forward.
Don't forget it's there, don't let your guard down, and don't get left behind.
What? How am I supposed to keep walking with this thing at my heels? You said it wants to attack.
Don't give it the chance.
Bimile sputters in anger. The guide summarily ignores him. I solidly grab hold of Bimile's upper arm.
Here, I'll lead you like this, and you can keep your focus solely on the prowler. Make sure it doesn't get too close.
That doesn't sound like a very good idea, because if he slips and falls, or if the prowler gets him, then he's gonna grab you, and then you're both gonna go in. Bimile's eyes the guide with unresolved hostility, but allows himself to softly sigh in relief. He gazes at me with
At least there's someone I can count on.
those blue eyes. Despite the fact I'm going against his advice, the guide says nothing more. It's clear now that he doesn't give a damn what we end up doing. Some part of me is glad for that. I want to help everyone make it through, and it would be worse if I have to persuade the guide every time help is
Kika.
necessary.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bimile places a gentle hand on my shoulder. Place my hand over his, obviously, because I need to make him blush more. I feel Bimile start as I reciprocate his touch, but just as quickly, a smile replaces his shock. The moment is pleasant. Ah! A A small balm against the large burn. I hardened my expression. And family follows too. Okay. I'm gonna end this episode here. It's a good episode. We'll save it. We'll save over this file.